Hi, everyone. Welcome to Here for the Health of It. We have a great show. We have Tara Zigdon, who's the owner of Pilates Sculpt Studio. We get into all things Pilates. We talk about her opening multiple locations. We talk about her husband, how he met her and landed her, which was a wild story. So I hope you enjoy this. Thanks for listening. Hi, everyone. Welcome to Here for the Health of It podcast. I'm Dr. Randy here with Dr. Tom. As always, we are Columbia's hottest and fastest growing podcast. And we have a great guest today. We have Tara Zigdon, who's the owner of the Pilates Sculpt Studio.
Yes, sir.
And she is going to dive into all things Pilates and why she's so passionate about it. You were telling us before, you pretty much just talk to people about Pilates all day, every day.
All the time.
You make every conversation about Pilates.
I direct it there. I think it's a great quality, but I feel like I can never stop talking about it. So in my friend circle, I'm known as like, that's the Pilates girl. There's Tara Pilates.
And does your husband get sick of hearing you talk about Pilates?
No, he loves it. He's
he
like
does?
100% supportive of it. I'd have to say that the reason I'm able to have a business is because of him. And, we also have 4 kids. So in order to train to become a Pilates instructor, that takes like hundreds of hours and it's not cheap. It's definitely something that you have to invest in. But if you get out what you put in.
Nice.
So, he allowed me and helped me with the kids. And I went back to college to be a doctor of physical therapy. So he's really great parent. And he also owns a locksmith company. So, families work together.
Love that.
Yeah.
4 kids?
4 kids.
That's busy. And back to school.
Right. Well, since the last about year and a half since opening the studio, I'm not in school, but I will return one day.
Really?
Yeah.
How much time do you have left to be a physical therapist?
I think that if I really just gave my life to school, I could be done under 2.5 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
Nice.
I love it.
What do you
school.
ultimately want to open up a PT place?
I would love, my delusions. My mom always says,
We
watch
love
out for your
delusions.
delusions because they always come true.
Yep.
I would love to have a huge building that offers a huge wellness center
Right.
with pickleball and yeah, like a little tennis court there, and then in the back, Pilates studio, and there's a doctor
Chiropractic.
there. Yeah,
Awesome.
at all.
Yeah. Sweet.
Yeah,
So anything you dream of, you just think, plop it in this building.
right.
I kind of it's like the
Locksmith
yeah,
shop.
yeah. Did you ever see Rob Deerjack?
Fantasy Factory.
Yeah,
I was just
I'm
gonna
gonna
say
make my own Pilates fantasy
Yes.
factory.
I have a vision board at my house, and I have that on there because I want instead of skateboarding though, I want golf course stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And anything.
Do you really
fun.
have a vision board? In what
Dead.
room of your house is it in?
So it's my plant room, we call
Okay.
it, or it's like a spa-ish area. We have a little
Okay.
sauna in there, but I have a huge whiteboard and then I have a huge vision board. We just plop photos on there.
I
And
did that a few years ago. I didn't stick with it, but
Yeah.
I put the word doctor all over this wall.
Are
I
you
would
into
write
that stuff?
Dr. Tara, Dr. Tara.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you into psychics and palm readings?
Mm-mm,
No?
mm-mm, mm-mm. I would try it. Do anything once. Definitely try it out one time.
Tom's vision board's hilarious because it has Photoshop pictures of him on someone else's body. And there's
That's
a,
good.
Six pack.
Yeah, that's right. You're I'm going to get there.
and there's a
Come
photo
on,
of,
Tom.
of
Yes.
him and his wife when they're 90 something or 100 years
100,
old.
yep.
And they're holding hands.
But his wife looks exact. He didn't change anything on her face, just made her hair gray.
Yeah, that's right.
She's
That's
like
the
a
life.
30-year-old and a
That's the
100-year-old
vision.
hair.
That's right. That's hilarious.
Today's episode is brought to you by our sponsor, Columbia Family Chiropractic, with 3 easy-to-get-to locations, one in Forest Acres, which is by Trader Joe's, one in O'Neill Court by the DMV, and one in the Northeast by Sand Hills. You'll be sure to have somewhere near you. They offer a ton of services from corrective care, on-site digital x-rays, spinal decompression for bulging or herniated discs, dry needling for injuries, pediatric care, and a Class 4 laser. They accept all your major insurances. And if you mention this ad, you'll get a discount on your first appointment. Check out their website at cfc4health.com or Google Columbia Family Chiropractic. That's CFC4FOR Health.com.
So tell us, like, what was your journey into Pilates? Like, what was your first Pilates class or fitness class, or kind of how'd you end up there?
So that's a great question. So I was an athlete like my entire life. I played soccer and basketball like into the college level, and like I that stopped because like my father passed away at that time, and really I didn't know like what I wanted in college. So I even think with my kids like that if they know what they want, then we can invest in college. But until that time
Right.
comes, because as an older student, I didn't waste my money. And I felt
Right.
like when I first went, I didn't even, I had debt for what? Like I didn't know what I was doing.
Agree.
Yes.
So
College for the sake of going to college
it's,
is
I don't know.
pointless.
Yeah. I am a little envious of people who have done it the complete right way. Like you meet
Right.
someone who's a doctor at like 26, like
Right.
Dr. Tim, like
Yeah.
he did
Mhm.
it. But anyway, so when sports stopped, I was like kind of lost. Like I went from practicing 4 hours a day, maybe even more than that, and that competitive drive to like it just being gone. And like, what do I do now? So I went to the gym, and even at the gym, what do I know? I know my practice routines. So
Right.
I was like just doing basic gym stuff.
Dribbling around the
Dribbling around LA Fitness. I'm like, all right, who wants to play? And I lived in Fort Lauderdale. So Studio Fitness was very big there. So actually at LA Fitness, I went to one of their gym group classes, and I kind of tried each class they had to offer. And I was like, okay, Pilates is like yoga, right? That's what like I thought.
Mhm.
And it wasn't. And for me and how young I was and how fit I thought I was, and when I took that first mat class, I was like, this is hard. Like I love it. Like
Yeah.
this is awesome, and I love it. And I just started taking all these free classes. I think I went to like 30 different studios down there. And a lot of it was Legree Fitness, which is here now in Columbia. And I loved Legree. I really loved it. I love that machine that they have. But then when I found Pilates, I was like, this is the root. Like, this is the main thing. And I saw the people there, and I loved it. I love the community. I love the vibe. I love being in that situation. Yeah. That was my answer.
So when
Yeah,
you
that's good.
were a soccer player and a basketball player, I'm
Yeah.
always curious about your special move that you
God.
had.
The
because
slide tackle and taking them out.
were you a big slide tackle?
Yeah.
Were you defensive?
I was like a midfield. I was fast. Like I think that my skill was just being fast. Like even in basketball, I was just fast, and I could make a layup.
Yeah.
Like I mean,
This is great.
right?
When's the last time you sprinted?
Oh God, not a while.
It's been a while.
Yeah, I don't run anymore.
There's some crazy stats on the last time. What's the? Do you know the number?
I
Randy?
can't remember the exact
It's like
number.
over age 30. It's like 90% of people will never sprint again.
Never sprint again. I think if I tried to sprint again, I'd probably pull a groin. I'd probably pull a groin. I wouldn't get my foot wouldn't catch up fast enough, or something would happen.
Yes, that's what happened to me last time I sprinted. I fell so hard.
Yeah. Like you think that you're like 10 years younger, and then you start moving your legs and they're just like
Yep.
longer or shorter than they used to be. And
Yeah,
you're like,
your
what's
stride
going
just
on?
isn't as
Right.
long as it used to be.
Right.
Or coordination. What are you from Columbia then, or where are
No.
you from?
So I grew up in New Jersey.
No kidding.
Yeah, but I grew up in the part of New Jersey that's very close to upstate New York in Sussex County. So like you cover your trash cans because we have bears.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I feel like a lot of people associate Jersey with the shore.
Yeah.
And I do love me some Jersey Shore. But where I'm from, it's
Sure.
like mountains and bears.
Yeah. Is
Yeah.
that so? The crunchy hair look's a Jersey thing too.
I guess, yeah, the big hair. And
Yes.
yeah, that's right. The Jersey hair. You remember the Jersey poof?
Yeah.
I should have came in all snookied out.
Right. Did you watch Jersey Shore? You had to.
Well, yeah, I mean, our prom, we went there. And so like we would see the cast, like,
No way.
yeah, they would just be walking around there. And now like that show's like older,
Old.
so probably never see the cast like that there again.
Right.
But
DJ Pauly D.
DJ Pauly D.
And Mike the Situation. I loved
Yeah.
him. He was
Yeah.
I didn't watch
I'm
very
a
many,
fan
but he's
of
good.
trash TV.
Oh, me too.
Big fan.
Oh,
Me
Tom, do you watch
too.
Bravo then?
Well, I watch Jerry Springer. I'm talking about original trash TV.
I haven't heard that in years. That's awesome.
and more. He doesn't even know what to say. He's
No, I know.
speechless.
I
He's
am
like,
shocked because sometimes when I'm at the gym, I would see like Maury
Maury
and
on. I
Jerry
make sure it's
Springer.
on at the gym.
Do you?
I'm like, it's 11 o'clock.
So what do you?
Who's the baby daddy?
What do you like? Is that what you're wondering about? Who's the baby daddy?
Exactly.
They
Yeah.
trap you. Yeah, because you're hooked. You want to find out the end.
You do. And also, I feel like those TV shows don't really require much thinking, you know?
Right.
And like during life, I do spend a lot of time like working in my phone, talking to people. So when I put that show on, I feel good about myself.
Nice.
I'm like, there's people out there with other stuff going on.
That's true. I just can't figure out who agrees to go on that show and do that.
I don't know. Everyone thinks it's fake. It's not fake.
Right.
But I did know somebody that went on that show.
Was it a real deal then, you think, or no?
I think that now that they kind of lead you in a direction, but like the show that person went on, it was real.
There's some weird stuff that they get into too.
Yeah.
Like your baby daddy's your cousin type
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
that's just
And then
wild.
and then 10 years ago, I'm here to tell you Jerry Springer facts. The Pilates girl is here to tell you Jerry Springer facts. But not a few years ago, I think probably over a decade ago, there was like a murder after the Jerry Springer show. It's like the love life.
What?
Yeah, so that was real.
That makes sense.
yeah, that was
doesn't
real.
surprise me.
Right.
Yeah.
What was the security guard's name? The bald guy.
Steve Wilkos.
Steve. And then he got his own show.
Yeah. That one I don't really watch though. He talks about topics that I don't that they're too serious, you know, that
Yeah.
aren't very lighthearted, I think. Yeah.
Kind of like Dr. Phil.
Yeah, I
It's
don't
like-
watch Dr. Phil
No,
though,
I'm with
it's
you.
too serious. Yeah.
What about The Bachelor?
Oh yeah.
Into
I love
that?
it. Flavor
Yeah.
of Love, the original one.
Flavor. All right, so like we're probably the same age then, because
I'm
that's
like
all
34 and sometimes
you're 34.
yeah.
Wow, you're young.
Oh, I thought he was gonna say you're old.
No.
I'm like,
Well, you have 4 kids, so I just started
Yeah.
just thinking math. Like you're probably more. I'm 40,
oh wow,
so I thought,
you look great.
thank you.
You're welcome.
How old do you think Randy is?
I was like, that's why I looked immediately at him. He's kind of just. I was like waiting for you to tell me your age.
So
This
no,
is the
I-
best
I know it's
question.
not
Yes.
polite to ask.
This is the best question. If you had to guess,
Tell me.
I-
Okay, I'll guess.
yes.
37 or the same age.
Yeah, 39. Actually, just
Wow.
turned 39.
So I met you in
You're
the
the
middle.
first one that complimented.
Well,
me.
here's the difference. I used to have a
I
beard.
mean, well, you said your age, and I would have guessed a little younger. And if you said younger, then I would have assumed younger.
Yep.
But that's the TV I grew up on. All of that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, Flavor Flav, like
Yeah.
all of that.
My mom's gonna be so mad when she watches this. She hates that.
Does she? Do you know
Yeah.
who Tosh.0 is?
Yeah, he's
He
funny.
used
Yeah.
to do the video,
Yeah.
the YouTube videos back when
I
was-
like Tosh. Tosh was funny. He has a podcast now, and I see little snippets of
Yeah.
it on TikTok sometimes. He's still pretty funny.
Yep. So tell us about your gym. So it's Pilates
Yes.
Sculpt Studio.
Yes.
So you threw in Sculpt in there.
Yes.
Yeah. How did that happen?
Okay, these are good questions. You
Thank
guys
you.
are asking good questions. Okay, so the word sculpt is because we are contemporary. Like there is very classical Pilates, but also, like I said, in Miami, I was doing everything like Legree, and I think that Legree is very athletic, and I still wanted to keep that kind of athletic vibe in our studio because I want it to be muscle based. I don't want
Yes.
people to think like, oh, we're just stretching here. We are sculpting there. You know, if you come to classes, you will see results like in your core. And that's about the word sculpt. I don't know if you
Gotcha.
have other questions.
What about like my deltoids?
Your deltoids?
How do I get? Yeah.
Okay.
Like how do I
so
carve that in? I want to sculpt just
we have
right
to come.
around
You have to
this.
come to the studio.
Yeah.
And
just
then
work.
that's when I'll
That's
tell
the
you.
work.
That's a
Oh, okay.
secret that
I
I'll
like-
save for my
I like
studio.
that. It's
But
good.
yeah, we do a lot of deltoid work actually. And different movements that like really tone that part. And that helps your posture, like that makes your posture appear, you know, and I'm
Right.
sitting here with horrible posture. This is not good. Not good. Not good.
Dr. Tim's watching.
Yeah, he is. They got to straighten out. He knows where the issues are up there. Yeah, but when you do like define that area, your posture like looks better as well.
Right. Right.
Which some ladies don't always like. I do like that though, not too much. I
yeah.
don't want too.
Well,
Yeah,
'cause-
you don't want massive shoulders if you're a woman.
Massive.
But in a guy though, that
Guys like
with
it.
big
No, it's
shoulders
and
is
everybody
nice.
has a different vision of what they want for their own body. You know,
Right.
some people really like that
Right.
muscle area. For me, my arms get very toned very quick, so I'm cautious with the arm area.
Yeah. Have you found with breast tissue, since that's like people are adding more breast tissue.
Yeah.
Is
No,
that
there's
what
a
you
lot of
said?
breast
Wait,
tissue.
People are adding.
I don't.
Because I mean, there's different issues with all
you're
sorts of
acting
breast
like you know what he
tissue.
means. I don't know what he's talking
Well,
about.
I don't know where he's going, but I know about
Well,
breast tissue. I mean, as someone
I
with
was trying
breast
to like,
tissue.
how do you articulate, I guess, boob jobs? They're more
No, that's a
popular.
serious thing.
Yes.
It's a serious thing taking them, getting a reduction. It's a
Right.
serious thing. Cancer is also a serious thing.
Right.
That ladies that, have to have their breasts removed and they get implants. So that's what it's not a weird thing, but
Right.
just didn't know where you were going.
Well, and sometimes
doesn't.
I don't.
I was
Yes.
like, what kind of show is
Sometimes
this?
I don't. But no, where I was thinking is like what musculature you build up, because when people add breast tissue, it
Yeah.
changes the weight of their upper back and upper body. And we see it all the time because if they compensate for the breast tissue, like their shoulders will be rolled back and it'll lift them.
Yeah.
If it's too heavy, everything rounds and
Yeah.
then it creates more of an issue.
Like a kyphosis. type of
Yes,
thing. Yeah.
yes. And so like even in our world, we use a lot of weights and different things to change posture. And I always think of it because it's a weight added to the body, and depending on the size that people go,
Yeah.
and it's not really thought about what muscles to work on post-surgery
You're right.
that affects their spinal cord and
Yeah.
posture and all of that stuff.
I think that that's actually, I've been in the Pilates, I've been instructing for probably a little over 6 years, and I've been in Pilates for over a decade.
Yeah.
And like something that you just said, I see a lot of removals. Like
Yes.
in this time, like I haven't really seen someone come in with like
Additions.
additions, and
Yeah.
then, but that's actually like a great thing to think about, and something that if anybody ever approached me and say, hey, I'm going to do this, I'd be like, well, let's maybe
Right.
start to work on the upper back area
Yes.
to prepare the body.
Yes.
That's actually interesting.
Yes.
But I know that when people do have reductions or any sort of surgery, like it takes a while. Like like you got to stay away from the chest. Like you have to
Right.
make modifications for planking and all that type of stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. This is also kind of, sorry that I wasn't as prepared as you both. So are you both chiropractors?
Yeah.
And
Yep.
this is your
Well, I
office?
pretend to be one still.
Okay.
I
He just
guess.
walks around. He's like, look at that. Look at your back.
Honestly, that's about as accurate as you could be.
That's pretty good.
We have,
Yeah.
we have 3 clinics. We have this one in the Northeast, and then we have one in O'Neill Court and one in Forest Acres.
Okay.
But we
Columbia
started-
Family Chiropractic.
Yeah.
So you guys are also nominated.
Yes,
Sometimes
Best
you
of
are
Columbia.
nominated.
Yeah.
We won
Yes.
Best of Columbia, Best Chiropractor last year,
Yep.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
and we were nominated for Best Podcast, but we lost out. And
Somehow.
we think
Let's
it's
vote.
rigged.
Let's vote. Let's vote.
It's a big
Let's
one.
vote.
This is a
Yeah.
big one this year.
Last year, I was for Best of Columbia. I was the finalist, so I was like the runner-up to Club
Yes.
P. But
Yep.
they are a big machine over there, so they definitely
Right.
have the clientele, and I'm very happy that they did win. But I love the competition.
Yeah.
I love it as a
It's
business
great.
owner. I mean,
Yes.
sign me up.
Yeah. We're like Tim Losby's, we're his mentors. He
So
really
then I
looks
did
up to
meet
us.
you. I think we met out
Yes.
at.
He's obsessed with us.
Yeah, I know. He
Yeah.
couldn't stop talking about you.
He
I
might
know.
even have my picture on his vision board.
Yeah. He's like, one day I'll be there.
Yes.
Okay, so so now I do remember. I
Yeah.
think I met you outdoors somewhere.
That's right. See,
Yeah.
I might have been like Savage or something
Yeah,
like that.
yeah,
Because I was years ago
Savage.
that I remember.
Yeah.
Because I remember your husband. He's like he's like pretty fit, like a big
Well,
dude.
he's a big guy.
Yes, like
and
tattoos.
Yeah,
It
actually,
sticks out.
yeah.
He's got
Um,
like a memorable body.
Yeah, and he
And
also
face.
this last year just
This
keep talking
sounded
about
weird.
breast
Thought-
tissues.
he
and
might
sounding
be. He might
weird.
also be on your vision board.
Yeah, he might
Yeah.
be on my vision board.
No, he actually lost like over 50 pounds this year.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Because he does, everybody's metabolism is different.
Right.
I mean, I feel like he can stop doing something and just shed the weight, and not everybody is like that.
Right.
But in the same token, if he starts to do something or it gets unhealthy habits, then weight comes back quickly.
Right.
So it's not about how much you weigh. It's about healthy life choices.
Right. Yeah. I
So-
get that too. Like and get this, my mother-in-law, I'm calling her out. She said
Call out your mother-in-law.
because Dave Portnoy says like his skin's like
Oh, I
cookie
like
dough
Dave
color.
Portnoy.
Yeah, he's like, oh, my cookie dough. So my wife was saying that because we were out at the beach and then my mother-in-law goes, yeah, and your cookie dough body. So I mean, just out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm getting a little pudgy.
She said it
Yeah.
directly to your face.
over the
He's
phone.
like,
over the
your
phone.
cookie dough body. You got to take. My mom will
And then
also call
left.
somebody out.
Yeah. So I get the fluctuations of weight. Right now, I may be a little cookie doughy, but
Cookie dough
it's coming
body.
back.
The older
Yeah.
you get, the more you just say whatever you think.
I think
believe.
so.
Because when
think
I was
so.
in my early 20s, I would be nervous to say something.
Actually, I have to say, I'm getting better.
You are?
About
Are you maturing?
caring. Yeah, I am. I feel like when I was younger, I had no filter.
Really?
Keep her away from me.
You would swear. I could see you
Yeah.
swearing a lot.
Jersey.
cussing
I
a
had the
lot.
jersey had to come
Yeah,
out. Took a
right.
while.
Yeah.
Took a
Right.
while.
Tell us. So we saw that you work with a lot of athletes.
Oh yes, yes.
Tell us about that. Like, how did you get involved with athletes? Like,
So I've been here. I've been in Carolina almost 9 years ago. Going to be 9 years. And I was here and I was like, take me to a football game, you know, because in New Jersey and in Florida, I didn't really like see that
Right.
culture.
Mhm.
And I've always passed by the stadium on game days and I saw a lot of younger like students and stuff like that. So I'm like, oh, maybe this is just a college thing. And then I met a friend of mine who's a good friend, Miss Marla Meredith. She owns Miss Cocky. And so she invited me to my very first football game, which was probably a mistake because to go to a football game with Miss Cocky is to go to is to do it all, you know, and then you can never go back.
yeah.
And I had the best time of my life. And when I saw how this whole town supports college of USC,
Mhm.
and I was just like, that's where I need to be involved in this. I
That's
need
awesome.
to like put my finger in this somehow. And you know, I marketed myself and I met a lot of people and a lot of the athletes, they don't have mat day. They can't touch their
Right.
toes, you know, and it doesn't matter what size you are. It doesn't matter if you're female or male. Like there's just certain agility movements you need to have to take your game to the next level. And so sometimes when the football guys come in, I tell them, I'm not here to work on your arms. You know, like we will open up the upper body. And here I am, I need to sit up straight. We will open up your upper body, but we're going to work on core, we're going to work on rotation, and we're going to work on hamstring flexibility. And that's what a lot of them need, you know, and I love it.
Do they have?
love
I
it.
was wondering, did they have what is it, a reformer or
They do have a reformer.
over at USC?
They have one in the so it was in the corner of the football training facility. I don't want to say any building name wrong. But
Okay.
it's where the football
Yeah.
weight training goes on. Beautiful building.
And they just have it there.
It was
so
just
they can-
upstairs in the corner. They're like, oh, that thing's broken. And so I'm like, let me see that thing.
Yeah.
So I pulled away from the wall and I realigned it all. And I'm like, this ain't broken. It just needed a little spit shine.
Nice.
I got it going.
Wow.
But you still have to know like how to use it,
Right,
you know? So, I tell them certain tricks. Like when they come in, I'm like, okay, well, you could stretch like this when you go there and you start with that.
Nice.
Yeah.
It's kind of one of those things they put it in the corner just so when they have athletes walk through, it's like, yeah,
I'm
we
not
have
even
all the
sure who bought
equipment.
that. It's like a really old one. Right? Like, I'm not sure who used their budget on that. Like,
So when you work with them, do you go to USC or do you have the student athletes come over to your?
they come
building.
over to the my studio on Divine Street. And I make time for that, you know.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, I love doing privates. I love having group fitness, but the studio is part of my vision and like my ultimate dream. And I really love being involved in training them. So I'll always make time for that to happen.
Nice.
Do they call you or message you or how do they
Yeah.
how do they do that? Because I
Yeah.
feel like everybody should be doing that.
Well, and I always feel like kind of a weirdo because, you know, no matter how these guys look, they're still young. You know, they're 19 and they're kids.
And you're creeping on them.
Right, right. And then I'm just like, I like your hamstrings, you know? Like, oh, you said Kai Kroger was on the podcast?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so I
Yes.
met at him at Garnet Trust event, and this was 2 years ago. So he wasn't even like, I don't
Was he wearing short shorts?
no, he was. Well, I don't know. I think
Every
he was
short is
wearing.
short for him.
Yeah, I was gonna say it was definitely over the knee.
Okay.
But and he's like, "Oh, I'm the kicker," and I was like, "Oh, I love your hamstrings. Like, what do you think?" And that's immediately how I got into it. And
Yeah.
but he's a great guy. Like he showed up, and he is somebody who knew about studio fitness before even
Yeah.
coming to Columbia.
Mhm.
So he was. It was easy to it was easy to get him in.
Super nice kid.
Yeah.
And he's focused on his career so much too. He doesn't
is.
doesn't party. He
No,
just
he's
eats well
Incredible.
and does his thing.
He's like, yeah. And when I was in college the first time, the athletes like did not look at that. Like I'm so shocked with
Yeah.
how they all are.
Right.
And I don't know if that has to do with social media or what changed the game of like,
Right.
they're so responsible.
yeah.
Every single one of them that I have met have been very nice gentlemen, guys. Yeah.
Great.
at the level I know
Where
that. Yeah.
were you at a big school when you were in college? Like, was it New Jersey?
No. So when I was gonna go, it was gonna be WVU,
Oh, really?
Yeah.
West Virginia.
West Virginia,
I went to
WVU.
Pitt,
Okay.
which they're our rivals.
Are they? I wouldn't know.
Yeah.
But WVU, for the brief amount of time I spent there, it was nice. And now I see the athletes, and I always think back, like, what if I, stayed and I did that? But
Yeah.
life is great today. So
Yeah.
So when you're doing all your hamstring work and you
Yeah,
look at
okay.
someone, let's say you look at someone like Tom whose hamstrings are terrible.
okay.
What kind of timeline
All
would you
right.
give him?
All right. For flexibility.
Yeah, I'm always curious about timelines because most people want to see results in a week or else they give up. But really, they might need 6
It'd be
months
nice.
or a year. Or
I think
don't-
that flexibility definitely comes before anything. Like I think
Before strength.
Yeah.
for strength.
But I think it goes before anything as
Yeah.
well. Like
Mhm.
I think that it takes months to build your core, but when it's there, it's there. Like you can
Yeah.
take a rest day and it's not going to go away. But with flexibility, that might come within 6 weeks,
Yeah.
and then it might leave in 2 if you don't keep up with it. So
Are you stretching daily?
I work so much, and I really do need to practice like what I preach.
Yeah.
But when I teach, I work
You're
out while
doing-
I teach. Yeah.
Yeah.
I teach usually in at 4-hour blocks and then maybe privates, but I work out.
It's just consistency. Are you working out daily, basically?
Yeah. Unless and if I do not have to go into the studio, like I do not go into the studio. Like I am home and I have a reformer at my house. So
Sweet.
it's always looking at me.
4 hours is a pretty good chunk of time to be teaching
I know.
because I know at some places they only do 1 or 2 hours at
I
a time.
know. I know.
Yeah.
But 4 hours makes sense to me. You show up, you do 4 hours.
Time flies.
Yeah, it's tiring, but 1 or 2 classes, it wouldn't.
You
be
have
tough.
to, and that's also like something good to say because it is how you use your energy. Like I'm a very high energy person, so like if I'm at the studio, like I'm pacing, I'm like back and forth and looking at you. But then there's some instructors, and that they're still that they're still and they can speak and
Right.
and articulate and get across whatever they need to do. So I've also been working on that, like calming
Sure.
down, like calm down.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you video yourself?
I could. Do I video myself like at the studio? Or do I
Yeah. What, like for replay, to replay it, just be like, oh,
Watch
I'm
your game tape.
moving way too much or I'm
That's not a
speaking
bad
way
idea.
too loud.
Oh, I definitely speak very loud, and I cannot control my volume. Like sometimes the class will be quiet. I'll be like, "All right," I'm like, I don't know why I yelled like that. I'm so sorry. Like,
Scaring them.
yeah, like people will jump. You're like, all right, making sure you're awake.
Well, there's a different, and I know like in the Orange Theory world, which is where I went for a couple years during COVID, especially, where they train the coaches to try to be similar, so it's not so different time to time. So
Yeah.
you say similar things and you say the
Yeah.
similar amount, and they make you say each person's name, and they make you
Yeah.
go walk. You have to go to one end of the studio and the other end of the studio.
Wow.
And even their training, there's video. So if
Yeah.
they're standing in one place for too long, they'll rewatch the video and they'll say, nope, every class you have to walk to the end,
Oh, wow.
walk back, walk to the end, walk back. So I'm curious about your training process, what that looks like or what things you care about.
Orange Theory is interesting. I think that across the board, and I'm not 100% sure, but I was friends with this guy named Aaron, and I think he was also friends with Dr. Tim. And Aaron was
Blonde haired guy.
yeah.
Aaron
He's a coach
Ish.
there?
Yeah, he's
Aaron
funny.
Ish?
Yeah. He's hilarious. He actually started off as a manager at Club Pilates, and like I just loved his vibe.
Really?
Yeah, and then he went over to Orange Theory. But he told me that a lot of the flows for Orange Theory are kind of the same, like across the board, like that day, like all over. It'll be like this. So I thought that was kind of interesting.
Yeah.
So for me at the Pilates Sculpt Studio, I have about 10 instructors, and they are all like magnificent, you know. They have college degrees. They've been in the game for so long, and I really trust everything that they do and everything that they say. So when it comes to the flow of a class, of course we have how you start. You start with warming up your bigger muscles, the footwork, the basic principles of Pilates, and then kind of after that, you know, we do want to target the whole body. So when it comes to like a flow like that, that's kind of my rule of the game, and keep everybody safe. You know, just because the class says advanced doesn't mean we have to put it there. And just because the class says classic and everybody there can handle it, challenge your clientele. Always be safe and don't like stick to the basics. Like I don't like tricky stuff. You know,
Right.
that's not safe. Like, oh, that looks cool. Do it on your own time. You know,
Yeah.
not
good.
here, not
Yeah,
with not with like this class.
10
We have
instruct-
amazing clients.
That's 10 instructors is quite a few.
Well, we have 2 studios and the other one's in Chapin.
Okay. And 5 at each one.
It kind of works out like that. We have definitely more at Divine, but I also have instructors that work on a sub basis too. So I'm including them. It's always good to have a sub. But yeah,
Is there music during class?
that is a big rule. There needs to be music during class
Really?
and it needs to be loud and it needs to be energetic and match the
Nice.
class vibe. I'm a huge fan of music.
Like Justin Bieber quite a bit.
Justin Bieber. No, I don't know. I do like some Justin Bieber. I love Morgan Wallen. I love
Oh,
that new
country,
Post Malone
yeah.
song.
Mhm.
I am a Swiftie, but I'm not opposed to any sort of genre of music. I love it all.
What about Rihanna's new country music?
No, it's Beyonce's new
Oh,
country
Beyonce.
album. America Carter.
He's really big.
That shows
he's
how
like,
much
no,
I
what
know."
about Rihanna?
Yeah.
As he like did the head nod. He's
Yeah.
like, and what about Rihanna?
I just heard that it was controversial that
I like it.
Beyonce is doing country music.
I like it. I think that that's what being an artist is all about, switching it up. I mean, Taylor Swift was
Why
country,
not?
then she was pop, you know? So I think that's part
Yeah.
of being an artist is producing artwork.
Sure.
That's what it is. Yeah,
Do you follow all the like Swifty stuff behind the scenes?
Yeah, I follow like,
Like the
every.
secret stuff that she hides in there.
Oh,
and,
that.
like,
Oh, I'm not that in
you're not
depth.
into that.
No.
My wife's like big into Taylor Swift. She was telling me like why this new album's so crazy.
Oh,
is
yeah.
It was everybody thought it was about her ex that
Yeah.
she was with for 6 years,
Uh-huh.
but it turns out it was about a guy she was with for 2 months.
That's right.
You
Matt
know?
Healy. Yeah.
You know all that?
Yeah,
So,
of
like,
course
I'm
I
like,
know.
what?
No, but no, there's like things in her music video though, like codes and like I
Right.
don't follow like
I
that
don't-
deeply,
see,
but I
that's-
do like with the drama.
She either
Are you a
has-
Swiftie?
He's a big Swiftie.
No.
He's
I don't-
lost. He's lost.
He's
Yeah,
got
I don't-
he's got a lower back tattoo of Taylor Swift.
Swift me.
The amount that I care about Taylor Swift is
Swift me.
negative. You know who I would care about is like Backstreet Boys.
Okay.
Or Britney Spears.
Then you should do karaoke night with Dr. Tim. He can kill it with
The guy's
Backstreet Boys
probably got some
songs.
dance moves too that are
He
just
does.
dynamite.
Yeah.
Hey, do you like when Dr. Tim does the eyebrow thing where he goes, you know, he raises them
Yeah,
quick?
yeah. You're right. He does do that. He does. Every time he's like, Tara,
Yes, and then he stares at you
and
and
me
he
and
goes,
you,
yeah.
we're going to do this. And I'm like, yes, absolutely, Dr. Tim.
I just played a week ago. I just played golf against him and his brother. So myself and
Oh,
my
wow,
brother
okay.
played against him and Mark, and we beat him.
Do you, good for you. High five.
Just I needed a place to slide that in.
Okay. Do you also run marathons? Because I know that I think his brother does as well.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I
Randy has run one. His time's not the best
That's right.
because Oprah beat him. But he
That's
did
true.
finish one.
I finished one. It
That's- I mean,
was
that's
a
better.
one and done for me.
Yep.
Yeah.
And
You're a
It's
runner?
a none and none for me
Yeah.
when it comes to marathons.
people still say to me like the worst I've ever seen a person look is you after
the
your
end.
marathon.
Yeah, at the end, you're like, never again. I would love to do the Spartan race one day, but I just like,
Oh,
I
right.
don't ever see that happening.
What's
But
that? Is that mud and
They have
Yeah,
different
there's-
challenges.
it's like kind of close to us. Like one happens in Newberry. I think, I don't know if it's called the Spartan race, but it might be.
There's different obstacles. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you run a little
But
bit,
it's
then you have to
running
like
and stuff.
climb
a rope or
under
something, or-
and then you crawl
Yeah,
under
yeah.
things?
Yeah, I hate failing, and I just feel like that's going to be something that I get 2 obstacles in. I'm like,
Yeah.
we're done.
What number were
We're
you
done
in
here.
basketball and soccer?
Like number on my
Back.
jersey. I think I was like 10 or 5.
Great number.
10 and 5, yeah.
You like the number 10? It's my favorite number.
I like that. I like the number 2. My birthday's
2?
on the 2nd, so I do like the number 2.
What month?
September,
November.
November.
Close, yeah. Scorpio.
Oh, a Scorpio.
Yeah.
What does that mean, Randy? Since you studied
Scorpio. Oh, Scorpios. They're always
hungry,
they're
unless
always
they-
hungry if they haven't eaten in a long time.
Yeah, that's right.
and then they're thirsty.
And they're thirsty if they haven't drank anything in a long
Only
time.
if
Do
the
they-
moon is
Do
in.
they
they're-
usually have eyebrows as
and
well?
they're really tired if it's
Just-
been a long time since they've slept.
Yeah.
Okay, that all
Yeah.
sounds just like me.
Yeah, I knew.
Good.
Now, do you have good relationships with other studio owners in the Columbia area? Because we're finding that behind the scenes, even Columbia's hottest podcast gets some stuff where it's like, hey, you had so and so on, and they're not friends with so and so, and
I could see that.
we're just here to deliver information.
Yeah.
Are you pretty kosher with everybody?
Kosher. I am kosher.
But we're also little.
Are you kosher like the
Yeah, no, I'm serious. Yeah, my husband, he's Jewish. He's a kosher Jew.
Really?
Yeah.
That's
So I
awesome.
like that word.
This is where this is the Jerry Springer part where we bring out
Yeah,
two
What,
other
someone's
Pilates
coming?
owners
Oh my
and they're
God.
coming in
two
to,
people that
to
can't
talk to you.
stand you.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, that would be hilarious. That would be the
awesome.
roast. I think I'd handle that pretty well. Is that really going to happen right now?
No,
No,
I'm just
we don't
kidding.
know. I
We're
know.
just joking.
It's like, who would it be? Well, I think that in any business, there's healthy competition. You know, I think that in any business, and if there wasn't, it's like good for you. You found a market that no one's even tapped into yet. I respect anybody that puts in the work and does it with ethics, and I can always respect that. Divine Street has many studios, and I respect them all.
Yeah.
I mean, in a way, you know, there's enough clients to go around for everybody. And a lot of the members that come to my studio, they have multiple memberships.
Sure.
So, you know, and it never bodes well to put down anybody because it makes you look bad. And that is a huge thing with my instructors at the studio. Whenever I hire someone, I tell them I'm huge on no gossiping. Like, even if the members come and they say something about an instructor, they like say, oh, you know, you keep it to yourself, stop it there. You don't want anything to snowball.
I like that. That's good.
I do think that a lot of studios, Pilates studios, are owned by a lot of girls kind of the same age range, you know? The few studios that I know, they're all like around my age. And, but I'm just happy to have a studio on Divine Street.
Yeah.
I'm happy to be there.
That's great.
Yeah.
So Legree, the guy who started Legree is
Yeah.
still alive,
Yeah.
I've been
So
told.
I've met him. I met his wife.
You have?
Yeah.
Is he good looking?
Well, the wife, I don't know. No.
No.
You're
I'm
not
sorry.
in that.
Sorry, Sebastian. Sebastian looked great.
He's
Well,
fit though.
and
Yeah.
actually,
Let's
we've
hope
got
he
him here
watches
and
it.
he's about to
Yep,
walk in.
come on in.
Oh, no,
Sebastian.
no.
Kidding.
The whole
That's
show
how
she's
I
just
know.
nervous
Yeah.
on what's going to
Just
happen.
keep announcing things that aren't going to happen.
Right. And I keep like looking at the door. Like, no.
Okay, well, what happened when you met him?
Well, no, I met his wife. I went to
Oh.
the studio that they have a studio, and I want to say it's in the LA area. My
Yeah,
aunt
okay.
lives over in that area, and his wife has a studio. I mean, she worked at one of them. It's awesome. I mean, she was cool. The class was like badass. The machines there, they're on an incline. Yeah.
Why?
I mean,
Just
because
make
just
it
to make
harder?
something even harder. Like,
Holy cow.
yeah, that's crazy.
So talk to us about, I have 2 kids. And
Okay.
Post kids, I just haven't gotten my body back.
Yeah.
Any tips for men and women on post 4 kids getting your body back in shape?
Well, it's two different people, like men and women,
Yeah.
you know. And I know that when kids come around, it's like it's you stay home a lot. So I think that the best advice to give somebody is make that time for yourself and like commit yourself to at least moving an hour a day. And you know, if you have a partner, make sure that they allow you to do that. You know, you need that hour, that time. But when it comes to Pilates and stuff, you know, for women, it would be a lot of the pelvic floor and bridging and just tightening everything back
Right.
up, you know.
So you
And
were
taking
doing,
it and don't put too much on yourself. Like a lot of girls that have babies, they put too much. Like we
On-
need to lose the weight. We need to lose the weight.
Right.
It will happen.
and they
and
want it
that's-
fast. and
yeah.
all that. Yeah.
And that's how you get hurt.
Yeah. How old are your kids?
My oldest is about to be 9. My daughter's 6. My son is 4. And then I have like a baby who's a little under 1.
Wow.
Yeah.
Nice.
You have a kid that's under 1 right
Yeah.
now? So
It's a lot of work.
That is
Yeah.
so much work.
And I have
How do
core
you-
muscles.
Yeah.
No, I'm serious. I do. That's what I said. Once you build the core, it takes a while. It stays.
Stays there.
Yeah. Pilates.
So you have core pre-kids?
Yeah.
Like, that's the thing?
Yeah.
That's what you
Oh,
got.
yes.
I don't think I've ever had core muscles. And that's not
Takes a
even a
while.
joke. Yeah.
Takes a while.
Because like planks and all that stuff were just always hard.
And in order to have core muscles, you need to work the whole core, which involves like, you know, movements that you don't necessarily know what to do, like
Right.
at a basic gym. So at Pilates, we work on all the small core muscles and like just barrels and like lengthening. You guys are
Yeah.
going to come to the studio?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We want to
Yeah,
try it
I
for
love-
sure.
I love
Okay.
the idea of Pilates.
You guys have to come.
Yeah.
The older you get, the more you just want low impact stuff
Right.
too.
You just want to lay there and
I
just
just-
like get it over with.
At the beginning of this year, I started doing jujitsu and kickboxing
That's
a lot,
awesome.
but I just got beat. I kind of got
Gets
beat
us
up. I was
You got bruised
in
up.
my mind. I'm still 20,
Right.
but I just couldn't bounce back like the
When you did
20-year-olds that were there.
kickboxing, did you like kick a bag?
No, you kick each other
Oh my God.
as hard as they can,
Yeah. I wouldn't like that either.
and punch in the head.
He's
I got
fight-
punched in the head a few times. I was
It's
like,
like,
oh
no.
man,
It's like
don't-
16-year-olds though. So he's fighting.
but they're big 16-year-olds.
They're like, do you work here? They're like, are you the
Which
master
actually, yes,
sensei?
kind
Why
of
is
true.
my dad here?
Master sensei.
I told him we need more people that are in their 30s
Yeah.
or 40s.
And they're like,
because-
get out there and market for us.
Well, sorry. No, 20, 21, 22, you kind of think you're invincible. You kind of like, even when I was playing hockey, I was still fighting at 20, 21. Like it was no
You play
big
hockey
deal.
too?
Yeah.
I'm going to fix these.
But it was no big deal to just go out there and fight someone. And like, if you broke your nose, lost your teeth, like
No,
it didn't
yeah.
matter. But
Yeah.
now the idea of going out and fighting someone and breaking my nose and losing my teeth, I'm like, ugh.
Somebody, I
No,
just
thank
said
you.
this the other day. So in soccer, I broke my nose like several times. Like I probably broke it like 3 times. So I used to
Really?
like sacrifice the body with the face. You know, like, I got this, coach.
Yes. This is a really important exhibition game. Let me go.
I got it nose first. But then I did get my nose fixed when I was like 18. And I think like after that, I had like fear of the ball. Like I never played
Right.
the same
Yes.
again, you know, because I didn't want to hurt myself
Right.
up. So it's exactly what you said about like your nose and stuff. I was like, I ain't breaking my nose
That's
again.
how I feel about my teeth now. I got them knocked out, and since I got them replaced, I'm like, I don't want to go out there.
Yeah,
and
I'm keeping
break
these
'em.
babies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But turns out he just joined a rec hockey league.
I did, but I wear a visor now.
You have to.
or a mask. Back in the old days, you would wear no visor. Then it was like, all right, you can wear a visor and you're still cool, but you can't wear a full mask.
You should,
And now it's just you have to wear. I wear a full mask.
You should join a bowling league.
Would that be cool?
He looks like a good bowler.
Why do you say that?
Because it's fun.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Are you in
my
the
own
league?
shoes.
Well, I used to be like on Tuesday nights.
That's a
I used
Jersey
to bowl
thing. That's
all
a
the
North
time.
thing for sure.
No, but it's more like a drinking league. Like I
Oh,
feel like
yeah.
we all sat there and like just drank beer
On
and, like,
Tuesday nights,
Maybe I
let's
hit
just-
maybe I hit some pins.
That's funny.
And then when I did good, it's like, yeah.
yeah, see,
Canadian bowling is 5 pins
Is it
It's
the
small.
skinny
and
one?
a
Yeah,
small
small.
ball.
Oh, okay. Are the pins actually like
Tiny.
sticks?
No, I think they're the same size. They're just
Oh.
no,
and the same lane size. They're just spread out. There's just 5 of them spread out.
I think they're smaller.
You think the pins are smaller?
Yeah.
In
Yeah.
football, Canadian football, the balls are bigger.
So
And
it's
you only-
rugby.
and you only get 3 downs.
It's
So-
so weird. They're so.
There is a
weird.
lot of weird stuff.
So
They're
weird.
so close to us yet so far away.
Yes, 100%.
So close yet so far away.
Yes.
I've only been to Canada one time, and I would love to see the BC part of Canada. I was only there because I went on a cruise to Alaska, and I think that like we ported somewhere.
Yeah.
somewhere.
That's
over there.
probably in Vancouver.
Yeah, Vancouver.
Nice. So you got 2 studios right now.
Yes, sir.
Tell us about the vision. Do you like just having the 2? Do you see yourself going to 3? Do you?
I
wanna-
definitely want a third studio. I won't
Nice.
say like I have ideas of
in the
where.
Northeast.
Oh, I won't say like, but I do
Oh.
have like a criteria of what I look for. And it takes a while. Like you have to like you have to like creep around the community, make sure that it's the
Yeah.
right.
Randy's a
location.
big creep. If you need help with any of that,
Or
he's a
creep
big
around.
Northeast is ripe for a Pilates
Mhm.
studio. And
Well,
I've even been
I've
saying
heard that
that
a
all
lot,
open
like-
one because nobody else will.
Mhm.
Well, I don't know enough about the Northeast, and I would need to spend like more time
You gotta
over
creep
here.
around
Gotta
it.
creep
Gotta
around.
creep.
I creeped in Chapin for like years, and I looked at that location, and I wanted it for years. Anybody who knew me knew that.
Yep.
And
Nice.
It opened, and I was like, now's the time.
So
Now's the
what?
time.
And then when you open these facilities, what sort of secrets?
secrets. Those secrets are secrets.
Okay.
That's what they are.
Yeah.
But the next one I open, you're welcome to come to my opening.
Okay, I like that.
Yeah.
Nice. So
I mean, it just takes hard work. I mean, that like the secret is showing up. Like,
yeah.
you know, you count on yourself,
Mhm.
you know,
Yes.
and also you build a team. You know, that's something my mom told me when I was opening. She's like, build a killer staff. Like,
Right.
find a team, and everyone's going to have a skill, and you have to have all the skills covered.
Yes.
And that's really like what it's about,
Mhm.
covering all your angles.
So what's your routine for managing all these? Like what do you have
That's
like
the worst.
yeah, do you have like a weekly meeting? Do you have a month? Like what's your reporting systems, all
So
that good stuff?
all of our instructors, we have a group chat. I don't know if like it
WhatsApp?
should be that's not no, just like our phones. Like
Are
I
they
know
all
what
Apple? But are they all
WhatsApp is.
Apple?
No, we got
Oh
someone in
God.
there with the Samsung
So
messing it
you-
up.
Yeah.
So you can't do
Messing
it.
it
Yeah.
up. Wait, okay. You
So you're
asked
just
about
chat. So just group
okay.
chat like for managing stuff.
Yeah. So, with that in like, the ladies I work with, they're all like very mature ladies, you know, like we like everything really flows very
Nice.
well. Like we get along, everybody respects each other. Everybody takes care of their own end. When it comes to like intaking clients, like that part is hard, like manning the phones and stuff. And I still can't give it away. And I don't know how to, and I'm not sure if I
Right.
feel comfortable giving my phones away.
Really? So everything goes straight to you?
Right.
Like
I-
if we
there's
were
no
to call,
open booking. Yeah, it's me.
really?
Yeah.
Like your cell phone?
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, it's a Google Voice on my cell phone.
Oh, got it.
Yeah, so it is a separate number,
You can
but
tell.
like
Yeah.
a person can't just come here and buy a class and come into the studio. Like I don't offer that because I don't think that's safe. Like
Right.
I need to know what your level is. Like just because you think that you're advanced, like we have a full gym of stock equipment and
Right.
like people that have been coming for over 5 years. So I have questions I ask people, and that's how I do like intake.
You have them send like a 5-minute video of them going through the
Right.
workout.
Right, right. Do you know what you're
That would
talking
be-
about? Prove it. Now
That's
ask about like
Kind of cool
injuries
though.
and stuff.
I like that. That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. You get because your quality control is
Through the
there.
roof.
Yes.
Yeah.
But you're
And-
also kind of tied to your cell phone all the time.
all the time, like
Yeah.
all the time. I really am. And you know, you have to put boundaries on that. Like on the weekends, I don't look at my phone. You know, and I have a lot of friends. A lot of my clients are my friends, and if it's not work related, I get text all the time. And if anybody needs a task completed, I'm like, please send that to the work line, so I take care of it in a timely fashion. You
Yeah.
know, yeah. And also, I'm not a fan of wait lists. Like our 7 a.m. at Divine, we're filled. So if
Yeah.
someone's coming to me and they're like, well, I want to join Unlimited, but I'm only at 7 a.m., I'm going to have to be honest
Yeah.
and
Can't
tell
do it.
them, well, you know, you might get in maybe once or twice a week, but we have a pretty
So it's just
solid.
like people basically own those spots until they retire.
Yeah.
I like that.
I mean,
What time is available? Because that's a big issue in the Pilates
Yeah,
world.
let's
Is
talk
everything's
classes.
full all the time.
Let's talk
no,
all
it's
the
true.
classes right now.
our 8 a.m. is available. So that would be our refresh and stretch class, but it's not just, I did this. That's our refresh and stretch. Sorry.
In quotes.
Yeah. That slot does still have availability. I would say that people of all ages can come to that class. We have a lot of older men that come to that class.
How
Really?
well, wait.
Over
how
60.
old?
Over 60.
Okay.
Wow.
Some older guys.
Nice.
And anytime that someone just wants to start, I put them in the 8 a.m. because I was like, this is a good class for you to know the equipment, for you to work on form, because we're still warming up in that. We're still
Right.
getting a little workout.
Yeah.
The 10 a.m. classic flow, which is a great workout, has space. The 4 p.m. classic flow has space, and our 6 p.m. more advanced still has space. But like 5 p.m., 7 a.m., and like 9 a.m. kaput.
And this is at both locations.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Chapin is like the clientels are so different from Divine Street to Chapin. Chapin is such a lake vibe.
Yeah.
A lot of moms.
Snooty.
No, no. Chapin's
Terrible.
so cool.
Yeah.
The people are so nice. Like I have a client, April, and she has put plants all over the studio, and she takes
Really?
care of them.
That's
and
awesome.
yeah, the people out there are like absolutely lovely, but they really love the later hours. Like the 9, 10, and 11 will always be filled.
Huh.
The 8 a.m., since the traffic in Chapin is so crazy, that's a hard hour to like get out there. So
Right.
it is different. It's different.
Yeah. What are the old guys wearing when they work out at the 8 a.m.?
Speedos.
Really? Speedos and tanks?
Yeah, no, I'm kidding. Probably like golf attire, what they would, or sweatpants.
Really?
You know?
They have like
yeah.
a polo with a collar?
Yeah. Some of
No
the guys, they
kidding.
golf and then they
They
come.
go straight to the golf
Yeah.
course
That's
afterwards.
hilarious.
Yeah.
I like that.
That'd
Yep.
be great. Just wear your golf outfit there.
That's
Yeah.
the way to live. Yeah.
Yeah, they love it.
Okay. Now, what else are you passionate about besides fitness?
My kids, my
Kids?
family, yeah.
Yeah.
you know, everything I do, it's for them. All the money I have goes into my family
Yeah.
and my home.
Great.
What's something parenting wise that you think you've learned in having 4 kids?
Ooh.
That's someone who's just getting into the thick of it, and now you're kind of
I
9 years into
I
this.
absolutely think parenting is a partnership. I think it takes a village to raise kids. I think that, you know, you have to show them love, and where one parent might falter, the other one needs to pick it up. So I think having a team to raise your kids is always good. You know,
Yeah.
I'm not always there to take my kids to practice, but my mom lives with us now.
Oh,
So
wow.
so my kids do karate, ballet, like they have it all, you know?
Sweet.
And so it takes teamwork, man. It takes teamwork.
So your husband lives with his mother-in-law.
Yeah. That's
Does-
why I was
does
like,
she
where are
ever
the
say-
mother-in-law jokes?
Yeah. Does she
She
say
travels
anything
a
about
lot.
cookie dough? Does your husband have cookie dough?
She would.
She would.
She would definitely call us all out. Actually, sometimes like, please stop calling me out, mom. Stop. Time to take a vacation. See your mom.
Does she have her own space?
Oh, yeah.
How does it work?
Yeah, she has kind of her own section of the house. So I had plans to build a house in Chapin. That's why I was like so obsessed with Chapin, because we
Yeah.
bought like lake property out there. But after COVID, like our budget to build kind of just got blown
Right.
out,
Yeah.
you know? And so we ended up buying a house in Forest Acres and kind of like adding a second floor and like creating it so there's like sections in the house.
Sweet.
But she travels a lot and stuff like that. She retired 2 years ago, so she was just in Alaska. She just took my son to Alaska for 2 weeks, and then she went to
Wow.
Florida.
Wow.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
It's awesome.
That's great.
Yeah,
Yeah,
take my
that's
kids
what
to
you should be
Alaska.
doing.
Right.
That's my parenting advice.
What about, so is there a clothing store within your Pilates?
Good
Yeah, tell
question.
us about all
You're
that.
asking
'cause
great questions.
That's what we do.
That's awesome. And so now
You
I
don't
can
get to
help-
be Columbia's hottest
Yeah.
podcast by asking
That's-
bad questions.
You're right. That's absolutely right. Putting in the work.
That's right.
And so this is great. I can promote Miss Cocky, Miss Marlowe, Miss Marlowe Meredith. She's a lovely lady.
Do we need her on the show? I feel like we probably do.
I mean, she's a very busy lady. I could ask her. She's hilarious and she's so smart. Like she has had the business mind. Like just being around her, I get business ideas. I'm like, okay, let's do it. Let's do
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
So I sell clothes for Miss Cocky through in the studios, and we provide a brand called Cream Yoga, which is really great quality stuff, and Spanx, which is also kind of like a well-known brand.
Yeah.
But it's all like through her. Like,
No kidding.
yeah.
Sweet.
So I can't say
So-
I'm a retail vendor. or
But do
anything
you
like
get people like, so off the street, if we were just walking down Divine,
that. Street people?
street peeps,
Street people. All the time.
do they just kind of walk past? Because I've looked in there and I was like, why is there clothes? There's like,
I don't think you're allowed in there. You don't let any street people in.
Well, you know, they'll get looked at funny if they open the door. The whole
Right.
class will be like a street person. No.
like just shopping while somebody's doing Pilates.
Yeah, right. They're like, what the heck?
Can I try this shirt on?
No one ever comes in for that.
Nobody's off the street. Okay.
Unless, I mean, Divine Street in itself has a lot of events. Like they do
Right.
the Divine Night Out. And I hope I'm not
Mhm.
saying any titles or words wrong. But for those events, we do open our doors. So
Oh, cool.
we'll have a pop-up shop and people will come in. And I love that.
Yeah, we did that this year.
Yeah, we did.
didn't.
It was fun.
We didn't go in your spot though.
You walk Divine Night Out?
Yeah,
Oh, we probably had a lot of lights on and stuff. Next time, come on in.
it was just intimidating. I think we got nervous.
You
Our
did?
kids were just
Kids.
everywhere.
Well, we had dogs inside there. Like I had my kids just running around crazy. Yeah, that on that day we have the people that like walk in, but when
Yeah.
it comes to like clientele, occasionally we'll always have a person like walk in and ask for information or something, and you know we get back to them as quick as we can.
What tell us about the pageant world though, because you're involved in the pageant, the
Yeah.
beauty space.
Yeah. It's, you know, there's a lot of, and you guys interview pageant queens. I absolutely love that program. Like, I think there's a lot of misconceptions like
Right.
on the South and like, oh, your daughter's in pageants in the South, like coming from Jersey friends or
Right.
people I knew, like, oh, you're going to do that with the girl. And what I love about it is they're teaching these like young girls, like to have a platform, you
Right.
know, fight for something. Invest in something, you know, interview people about it, learn about a topic. So I love that. And I also think stage presence is a very important skill to have.
Yeah.
Learning how to speak. So
Right.
I'm a fan of that.
And that's how so you got into it with your daughter
As a
doing that?
princess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah, she started as a princess for Miss Teen Florence, wonderful, wonderful lady. And this year, and then I met Sarah Wren, and I met Sarah Wren's mom, and I love her, and Talia loves it too. My daughter loves it.
Cool.
Do you know Chaz Ellis and
Chaz,
Lex?
yeah,
Yeah.
I know them, not like so well, but we are lots of times in the same area, so we see each other.
Yeah. Seems like they're always just having a blast.
They
in
are,
that
right?
world.
They're always just walking around like
So fun.
like yeah, they're cool.
Like sipping a cocktail with glasses that are bigger than their head.
Right.
Yeah.
Talking about like life topics, and then they're happy to see you, and you're like, "Hey guys." So yeah, let's talk about Dancing with the Stars.
Yes. So
Are you
you're-
actually dancing?
Yeah, I have to dance. I'm actually literally today at 3, I'm going to practice for my 3rd time. Have you started practicing?
Yes.
Are
We
you
did.
good at are you good at dancing?
My husband's a professional dancer.
Oh God.
I'm not. I'm so
but
embarrassed.
still.
I was like more embarrassed. Like today,
Oh.
I was very nervous to come here and like speak because I like feel like I'm gonna stutter or something. But with dancing, for real, like I'm scared. I don't know
I'm
why.
scared out of my mind.
Like
I know.
Mhm.
I'm
not-
scared with the instructor, and it's like one-on-one. Like,
Yes,
don't look at me.
Yes. Are you
Like-
going to dance with your husband or
Yeah.
you are? See, that's
And
nice.
he makes me so upset
because
he's so good. And I'm just like, I have 2 left feet.
Is
I'm
that how-
Spanish, and I can't even move.
Right.
I'm like,
Right. Is that how he landed you with dance moves?
yeah, and a lot of consistency, I'd have to say.
Really? Get
Yeah.
us that story.
We met in Florida, and I was at a resort, like poolside, and then he was visiting from Colombia. And he kind of saw me. He's like, "One day you're going to be my wife." And I was like, "Get away
That's
from
how
me,
he started?
crazy
That's
man." Yeah, he's like, "Let me buy you a massage. You look stressed out." And I'm like, "I'll think about it."
What
and
a
then,
move.
yeah.
That is.
And I was like,
that's
"I'll
a
think
$90
about it."
commitment for someone you don't even know.
Instead of a drink, he's going right to
Yeah.
90 minutes of massage.
Yeah.
and then
he
it turns out he's
It's
the
him.
masseuse.
No, right. I told him, I was like, "This is not
That's
a trick.
good.
This needs to be in the spot." And he's like, "Absolutely." So he made the appointment, and I walked in, and the guy was from a different country. He's like, "This is going to be 15 minutes." I was like, 15-minute massage? Like,
Come on.
and he's like, "No, 50. I was like, "Okay." I was like, "He only spent 15 minutes, you know?" I was like, I wanted at least an hour.
That's incredible. And then that spun into like, so then after the massage, is he outside waiting with like a cocktail or?
For real, yeah. He was
No
like,
way.
yeah. But and then they only stayed like a week, and we FaceTime. And this is why I'm a fan of long distance. I really think that long distance, like we did long distance for about probably 6 months, but it was like a great way to get to know each other.
Wow.
And then a month, like I said, he said, "Oh, you're going to be my wife. I want to take you to meet my mom next month in Israel." I was like, "Yeah, right."
That quick.
And he took me to Israel the following month. Like I had him talk to my family and like, you know, because that's kind of scary.
This guy's smooth.
Smooth. And then
So good.
I went to Israel, and like he never brought anybody else there. His mom was so amazing. Israel's amazing place.
So he
Loved
just
it.
knew.
Great experience.
He just knew by
did.
looking at you.
He did.
And he's like, yep, I'm buying her massage and she's going to be
Yeah.
my wife.
That doesn't even make sense to me. I
That-
can't even fathom.
Right. And I was in the mindset to be single. Like I was at
Right.
that time in my life, like I really wasn't looking for anyone. And I always feel like that's when it happens.
Right.
Like-
how old were you at that time?
21, 22.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just hanging out at the pool.
Just hanging
Life's
out.
about to change.
Life's about to change.
I wonder if that. I wonder if he like knew the moment that he looked at you. Have you talked to him about it?
Well, it was his birthday. Yeah, he said that.
Was he on a guy's trip?
It was Passover. So it was a holiday. It was like a Jewish holiday. So he
Gotcha.
was there with his friends and family. And
And
that hotel that I stayed at offered kosher, and I didn't even know that. But
Right.
but in Fort Lauderdale, they have a lot of like
almo-
kosher stuff there.
It almost feels like his like brother like bet him. Like there's no way you can land this girl.
Right.
And he's like, here, watch me.
Right.
And then he comes up with
Yeah.
some scheme.
And his brother
then it-
has kids, and they were all by the pool too. So he like
See?
sent the kids over
yes.
to chase a lizard or the iguanas.
Just to
And then
get,
that's how he like opened the conversation.
he's
It was
good.
such an eye roll, but yeah,
what a stud.
yeah,
Let's shout him out. What's he's a locksmith, right?
yeah.
Let's
yeah.
get his, if somebody's locked out.
I'm not gonna stutter. It's gonna be Zigdon's locksmith or Vista Lock and Key or TNT Lock and Key, and great service. And they have many employees, and they'll get the job done. And if you say you heard this podcast, we'll give you a discount.
Ooh, love that.
Ooh.
Great.
I feel like lots of people need locksmiths.
It's
gun
crazy.
gun safes constantly like
It's
are issues.
Okay, during
Your vehicle
COVID,
is a constant issue.
right? During COVID, like he like thrived. Like everybody changed their house locks. Like
Oh, right.
really, I'm serious. Like everybody was
Right.
just and he also does security systems and he does a lot like of car work too. So at that time, people were like, I guess securing their homes,
Right.
or something. So like that
Or breaking up and
made
don't want their
exactly,
stuff.
exactly. Like I want my boyfriend to give me back my key. You know?
Does he work with like a lot of property managers, like new real estate and that kind of stuff?
Yeah, he works with that a lot of that stuff, and there's also like a lot of weird stuff. Like he also deals with repo, which is kind of dangerous because there's people that are getting their cars repoed, and then the company needs keys, and then the client shows up very angry.
God.
And there's been situations where like people have passed away inside their home, and like the cops have to call him to like open the doors
Open it.
properly.
Oh.
Yeah, he's seen that. He's seen that like 3 times.
Does he walk in then just to investigate, or I would just unlock the door and get the hell out of there.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Although,
yeah.
no, I
These
don't know, maybe.
signs, but there was a time I don't remember how the situation started, but he did walk in and like see the body and stuff, and like that's crazy.
Dang.
I know.
Okay.
I feel like they could have a show, like the Locksmith Show. It'd be like a repo kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be kind of cool. Like it'd be like Storage Wars. I'm sure
Kind
they have
of,
to do
yeah.
that
No,
in
they
the
had
Storage
they had
Wars
like
stuff.
a repo show, and I feel like it's very similar to that
Yeah.
kind of thing, because there are relationships that fight. You lose your keys, or people are not going to let you in, or there's just like a lot of situations like that.
Oh yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. Well, tell everyone kind of one more time where to find you, how to get a
Okay.
hold of you, all like your
Website,
website,
Instagram.
social
Okay.
media.
So again, my name is Tara Zigdon. I own the Pilates Sculpt Studio. We have a location on Divine Street, and we have a location on Amex Ferry in Chapin. We are accepting clients. It's a beautiful environment. We have a really nice space that with a lot of natural light. All of our instructors really care so deeply about all the clients that we have. And the clients that we do have are all like wonderful people. And if you're looking to be a part of a community that's welcoming and will miss you when you're not around, then the Pilates Sculpt Studio is the place to be.
Love it.
It's awesome.
I
Thanks for
didn't
being on the
stutter.
show.
That was
great.
good.
You did great.
Thanks.
Here
We're here for the health of it.
for the health of it.